All right. Good evening, everybody. Waiting on my other camera to pop on. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hope you had a wonderful day. I have. It was beautiful outside today. Got a chance to run around, do a couple of errands, come back in. We're working from home still, so enjoying that peace and quiet of being able to work in the office in the house. Um, got my Pandora on in the background. We turn it down just a little bit so y'all can hear me. All right. Last night, y'all had too many technical difficulties, could not get on. The internet has been up and down, so if I lose you tonight, hopefully I'll get through making everything before we get cut off and then I don't miss anything. Hey, do me a favor right now before we get started, like and share the video. Also, tag a friend if you know somebody that wants to learn how to cook a couple of quick, easy meals and put everything on the table from start to finish in 1 hour. Then tag a couple of people and then come back. If you have not already liked our page, go to the Lady Sound Wonderlow on Facebook and on YouTube, and make sure that you like, share, and tag some folks. We'll let a couple more people come in before we get started. Had a couple of cousins that were waiting on me to make this mac and cheese tonight, so I hope that you're able to get on. Hope that you all enjoy this. If you were able to get your ingredients, go ahead now and take those things out, and we're going to get started in just a second. Like I said, this is the Lady Sound to Wonderlow, but this show is Mayrose Cafe Live. And just until we get a couple of folks on, I'll just tell you all why I call it Mayrose Cafe. First of all, it's the name of my kitchen. And it's actually just the name I made up one night, pretending to have a cooking show in the kitchen. I was cooking and I was talking about how to mix this together and how to make that. And I decided that if I had a show, the show has to have a name. And my kitchen needed a name, so I named it Mayrose Cafe. So that's the story behind Mayrose Cafe. Please do not try to Google it. It is not anywhere that you're going to be able to find. It's a secret location, just like the Batcave. So you won't be able to find it unless I tell you where it is, and I ain't going to tell you where it is. But anyway, make sure you like, share, subscribe. If you're on the YouTube channel watching this, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and that you hit the little bell so you can get notifications when there are new videos popping up. So I told y'all we were making macaroni and cheese. Actually, what we're going to make is a whole meal. I hear a lot of women say, well, I don't have enough time to cook a whole meal during the weeknight. I don't know how to put together a meal, or, oh, it's just too much work. It's too much doing. I'm going to show you how to make them. Not only make the macaroni and cheese for your entree, but also a dessert and a side. Whole meal, and we're going to do it in less than an hour. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'll go ahead and tell y'all up front what we're going to make. For dessert, we're going to make an apple crisp. Just like I told you that bread pudding is one of the easiest things that you can make, apple crisp would be number 2, or it can tie for number 1 as being another easy dessert that you can make. So the apple crisp, then we're going to make the macaroni and cheese, and then we're going to make a very simple wedge salad. It's going to take us less than an hour. You're going to be smacking and eating and enjoying it. Your family's going to be happy. You're going to be happy. Everybody's going to be happy. Who's not happy when there's mac and cheese around? I mean, come on, it's mac and cheese. All right, so let's get started on the dessert first. Like I said, it's an apple crisp, very simple dessert. And we're going to even put it in these little cute pans so that you can actually have an individual serving. If you want to make it in larger pans, you could for a whole family, or you can make it in little small ones for an individual serving. So what we're going to start with is, we've already peeled and cored 1 apple. And this water looks a little funny because it's got lemon juice in it. And that's to keep the apples from turning brown. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and these apples. Oh, let me show y'all my little handy dandy wedgie thingy. That's what I call it, handy dandy wedgie thingy. It's a name. It's a name. It's real. So start off Granny Smith apples. I did peel the apples. I've already done one, but I use this little handy dandy apple core thingy. That's my name for it, to actually core the applesauce. Just show you. Just press it down. And I don't think y'all can probably see down here on the cutting board too well, but press it down on the apple. And what it does, take a little muscle now, is it cores and slices your apple into all these pretty little slices. So if you got grands like I do, and they love to eat apples and they come to your house, here's your handy dandy way to just make them some sliced apples, and you're getting all equal size slices. So we're going to set that to the side. For the apple that we've already done, I want these slices to be a little bit thinner. So I'm just going to cut these in half again. And if I'm talking a little fast, it's because I promised you within an hour, so I'm trying to stay within that hour. So tell me about y'all's day. What y'all been up to? What's been going on? What's been happening? What you get done today? What accomplishments did you have today? Don't make me feel like I'm in the kitchen by myself talking. Get on in here and talk to me. Hey, cuz, thank you for tuning in. My cousin in Texas, Jackie, my twin. We got to see each other at our my great aunt, her aunt's funeral this past week. Sad occasion, but I was really happy to see some of the cousins and get a chance to spend a little bit of time with them. So glad to see her. Now, I've already slashed up all the apples, and all I did was just cut the bigger wedges into a little bit smaller wedges. And if you want to be all cute and make a flower out of them, you can. If you just want to get this done, you can also do that. So I'm just placing them in the pan, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like. And I guess it's kind of pretty in a little design or whatever, but that's what it looks like once it's in the pan. I'm showing you on two different cameras, so if I'm holding something high, it's the camera up top, and the one down low is the camera for down low. All right, so we can set that to the side now. All right, in our bowl, I lost my butter, y'all. What did I do with my butter? Oh, I left it in the refrigerator because I wanted it to stay firm. Let me grab that. Okay, back butter. So we're going to take about a half a stick, or I think that's about 4 tablespoons of butter. And I just cut that up a little bit so it mixes a little bit easier. Put that in your bowl. And make that last one a little bit smaller. Okay. We're going to take, when I make a big one, we're going to you use a whole cup of oats. If you want to make one this size, then I would say use a whole cup of whole oats. Get the old-fashioned kind. Do not use the ground up kind. Don't use the instant kind. Make sure that you get the old-fashioned so that you get the one that's got the whole oats in it. You'll add that in. To that, I'm going to put maybe about 2 tablespoons of flour. Can you see that? Yeah, I'll put a little bit more. Okay. To that, you're going to add a little, this is about 3 tablespoons of brown sugar with a tablespoon of white sugar. So we're just going to mix that together a little bit. And I know y'all saying, why is she saying tablespoon and using a fork? Because I ain't feel like getting the measured spoon out. And we're just going to put about 3 good heaps of that in there. Nothing goes better with apples than cinnamon. So I'm going to put a little bit of cinnamon in there. Now, how easy is that, y'all? I mean, can't beat it. That's as easy as I can get for you. Like I said, this is almost as easy as the bread pudding. Now, all you're going to do is just take your fork and you're going to mash this together. Now, normally I use my fingers, but since I don't want to make a mess and then have to stop and move things around and wash hands and all that, we're just going to use the fork. And all you're doing is just mashing it together to where you get the butter throughout everything. And everything is going to come out in big chunks. So you want it to crumble. So remember, it's an apple crisp. So technically what you're making is a crumble to go on top of your apples. I've already preheated my oven to 400. And I did this earlier and I tested it out. And I'm going to say it takes about 45 minutes for, on 400 it might take 30 minutes for the apples to get tender. Because that's all you need to do is for the apples to get tender and for the crumble to brown and get a little crispy on top, and it is ready to go. So by the time you finish making your mac and cheese and making everything else, hey, this is ready too. All right. So, basically what you have is just going to look like really chunky oatmeal. That's what you're looking for, just chunky oatmeal. And you can break it up a little bit more when you get ready to spread on top of your apples. So we'll put your apples back over. And now we're just going to take that crumble and put it all over the top of the apples. This is like, again, simple dessert. Doesn't take a whole lot of time. Doesn't take a whole lot of ingredients. Something that you can come in no time and kind of whip up on a weeknight. We used to make these for the kids all the time when everybody was home, and they tore them up. They tore these things up because they're very easy to make. Like I said, it doesn't take a long time to make. To put them together, pop it in the oven. You good to go. All right, and try to cover up all the surface of your apples if you can. And that was just enough to do that. So remember, half a cup of oats. Put this over here. Half a cup of oats. About 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. Tablespoon of white sugar. About a tablespoon or teaspoon of cinnamon. And 4 tablespoons of butter. And you got it. And this is what it'll look like before we put it in the oven. So we're going to put it in a pan. And because these little pans are a little flimsy, I always put them on another pan and then stick that in the oven. Now, just to be on the safe side, make sure that the apples cook all the way through, I normally just cover it with another pan, or you can just use foil if you want to. Pan is easier, you won't have to tear foil. Slide that in the oven on the middle rack. And we'll set my timer for 30 minutes. So I don't forget, because I'll start talking to y'all and forget all about it and burn it up, and then I'll be upset. So I got my timer on. Ooh, that's got brown sugar all over. Okay. All right. Now let's get that stuff out of the way real quick. And we're going to start on our mac and cheese. Now, remember I put a little extra flour in my bowl earlier. So for the mac and cheese, I already have the macaroni on the stove cooking. I can turn it up a little bit. So that can come to a little boil for me. I'd already cooked them earlier, so I don't want them overcooked. So I'm just kind of like warm them up now. And we're going to go ahead and get our cheese ready. I think in the ingredient, in the list I put online, I just told you without saying the name of the cheese. I told you to get the same cheese that you'd make cheese dip with. So y'all already know what kind of cheese that is. So get you a block of that. And it's probably more than a pound. I meant to read the box and make sure to see exactly how much that is. Oh, actually it's 2 pounds. So this is going to make quite a bit of cheese sauce. Now, you could be fancy and take your time and cut this all pretty if you want to. I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to tell you now, I ain't going to do that. I'm just going to cut it in half and then cut it in some big blocks enough to handle. And that's all the cutting I'm going to do. So that's all the cutting you got to do. Still a little harder than what I like, but it's still working. It's not a problem. We can get it done with this. And just cutting this in some blocks. And the only reason I'm cutting in blocks rather than just putting that whole big hunk of cheese in there, it'll take it forever to melt. If it's cut in smaller blocks and you can get it in the sauce, then it kind of works a little bit better. So after we cut this up, I'm going to show you how to make the cheese sauce. First, let me tell you everything that's going to go in it. So aside from your 2 pounds of cheese, can you see that? Your 2 pounds of cheese, you're going to have a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of paprika, a little black pepper. I don't know what it is. I like to see black pepper specks in my macaroni and cheese. A little bit of seasoning salt, or that's Cajun seasoning, I'm sorry. And just a little bit of regular salt. Very little regular salt because I am using Cajun seasoning. It has salt in it. And I salted the water when I got ready to boil the pasta. So do not use a lot of salt in this. Plus you have to remember, cheese has salt in it too. So you don't need a whole lot of salt in your dish. We're going to take the rest of that flour we had earlier. Oh, we're going to have 2 cups of milk. Can you see that? 2 cups of milk. And then we're going to use some evaporated milk. That's going to be a half a can. And I think a half a can would be about 6 ounces. Okay? So what we're going to do, we have our skillet back here. And we're going to turn that on. And I turn it down low. And we're going to go ahead and start melting our butter to start on our sauce. Now I'm using, I think earlier I used about a stick and a half. So we'll do a stick and a half again. That seems to work perfectly. That's just enough to do what we need to do. And I'm actually using margarine this time because I cooked all my butter this morning, y'all. And I forgot to get some more when I went to the store. So that's margarine. But guess what? It's gonna do the same thing. It's still gonna taste good. We ain't gotta worry about that. So while that butter is melting, see what else can we work on? Well, you know what? We actually can go ahead and do the salad. I might get y'all out of here faster than an hour now. Because I kind of prepped. I do all my prep work ahead of time so that I don't have to, use up so much time. And that's part of being able to cook all this stuff in a matter of an hour too. Is if you know what you want to cook during the week. Now, on Sunday nights, one of the things I do to prepare for the week is I go ahead and make my menu for the entire week. So I know what day I'm cooking, whatever I'm going to be cooking. And one of the ways to kind of keep yourself on track, if you do want to cook every night or you do want to put a meal on the table every night, is to always plan your meals ahead of time. Know what you're going to make and then build your grocery list around that. So what I'm going to do for y'all here pretty soon is when I do the cookbook, because I am going to do the cookbook, Renetta and Latanya, if y'all are watching. I am going to do a cookbook, and I will include some of those tips and those things in there because over the years, I've learned how to manage my time and then get done what I need to get done and prioritize things and making grocery lists and making sure you got a menu planned and doing all this stuff. Because I can remember when I cooked a meal every night and there was 6 of us in the house. It was my husband, myself, and then we had 4 kids at home. And we had a meal on the table every night because we planned ahead. And I always make sure that there was something, easy to make and that we'd have full meals in the middle of the week. And everybody thought that was the weirdest thing because most women don't cook. Now, that is not an insult when I say that. That just means that we have jobs, we have families, we have kids, we have things that we do. And sometimes cooking is just not the big deal to everybody. I've always liked to cook, so I always enjoyed it. Now, there were a couple of times, I would not lie. There's this pizza place that is no longer around, and please know I mourn it daily, that they actually cooked dinner for me. So on those nights where I was feeling pretty good, we actually had a meal. So you'll get some of those stories and you'll get some tips on how to put things together, how to plan your menu, how to pick out your food, all that stuff when I do the book. So make sure you stay tuned with me and work with me and wait on me and help me out with that. So while we're waiting on the butter, we just stir it around just a little bit. I hope y'all can still see me when I walk back here. Okay. I'm gonna just let that melt. Now, because I'm using margarine in this one, margarine has water in it. So what you want to do is let that water cook off. So now that you only have the fat part of the butter or the margarine. So let that get melted down. And we do not want to you want to do this on medium heat. And the reason you want to do it on medium heat is the worst thing in the world is you do not want to burn your butter. You don't want your butter to burn. So you make sure that you do that on medium heat and let it just melt. Takes a couple minutes, but hey, we got a little time. All right, our pasta is ready. And I did not show y'all this. Oh my God, y'all gotta see this. This is, I don't have anything to stick this on for. Just a second. We move the cheese. So I want to show y'all the pasta we're using. Let's talk about it in just a second. Now, most of the time when you get macaroni and cheese, you get elbow macaroni. I love this pasta. This is called, I'm going to say it wrong, cavatappi. No, cavatappi. It's corkscrew pasta. Does have a hole all the way through. It's a little tube. It's got ridges on it. It is great. And it tastes good even without the sauce on it. So, just stir that around a little bit. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and drain our water off our pasta. Ooh, here's the facial. Oh my God. Okay. Now, ooh, that's nice and warm. I just messed up what was left of my little makeup, y'all. So we're going to sit this. We'll sit our pasta right there. Our butter is almost melted. Okay. And like I said, that water is cooking out of it. All right, so we got a spot where we can go ahead and add all our spices in. And I like to add them in now because they can mix in a little bit better. I don't like to add it in after the flour. Don't know why, just don't. You add it whenever you want to though. So we're gonna put those all back here. Remember I said a little bit of garlic powder. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. This is just butter and some seasoning. If you could smell this, you'd be like, wait a minute, what in the world is she cooking? Remember, tiny bit of salt, not a lot of salt because the cheese has salt in it and you salted the water with the pasta in the beginning. Cajun seasoning. And see, this is what makes it, oh my God. Y'all can just, oh, see. That's the smell right there. I think if you boil water and put Cajun seasoning, people think you're cooking up something good anyway. A little black pepper. A little bit more. Remember, I told you I like to see black pepper space for some reason, just weird. And a little paprika. And the paprika to me is just gives a tiny bit of the smoke taste. And then it also gives a little bit of color. And we're going to just mix all that together. All right. That's the best smelling butter in town, y'all. All right, now we'll go ahead and take our flour. And I don't normally measure, y'all. I told y'all I cook by sight, smell, and how I'm feeling. But I'm going to measure it just for y'all. So I'm going to do about 3 good tablespoons of flour. And you're building a roux basically. Doing the fat and the flour, so it's sort of building a roux. Not sort of, you are. So 3 tablespoons of flour. And we're going to stir that in until all that flour dissolves into our butter mixture. And it's going to thicken. This is going to be your thickening agent also. That's the point of the flour. Now, if I were making gumbo, woo, that would be the color. Can you see that? That would be the color that you want it to be, your flour. And just so you can actually go a little bit longer, make it a little bit darker, because the darker the, can you see that? The darker the flour and butter mixture, fat mixture, the better the gumbo. But we're making mac and cheese, and you're going, why is it so dark? That's okay. It's fine that it's dark. Because guess what we're going to do? We're going to add 2 cups of milk. And you can use whatever milk you normally use. If you are an almond milk person, fine, use that, whatever kind of milk you use. Just make sure you don't use a flavored type of milk, like the vanilla flavor and all that stuff. If you're going to cook with it, make sure you just get regular milk. So we're going to add that milk in. We're going to stir that in a little bit. And all we're doing is just getting the sauce ready to add the cheese to it. Okay, so go ahead and do our 1/2 can of evaporated milk. Just gives a little bit of creaminess, a little bit of richness. And now it is ready for the cheese. All right. Let me put this back on my cutting board because I don't want to waste cheese across the floor. So we're going to put all our cheese in now. And just try to space it out just a little bit so enough of the liquid can get on it and it can kind of melt a little bit faster. Remember, all of this is on medium heat. You do not want it up high because if it scorches and burns, you might as well throw it away. It does not taste good. Now, add all your cheese in. I hope y'all are having fun. I'm having fun. I don't know. I must be some kind of weird cooking nerd. Because I'm actually enjoying myself. And I hope that you all are enjoying it. And post where you are. If you're cooking with me right now, post and let me know what part you're on. Or if I'm going too fast, or if I left you somewhere, give me some comments in the comment section and let me know where you are. So since we're finished with this, you can set all this to the side. I'm gonna leave my cutting board here because I want to put, I'll have a hot dish in a few minutes to place on top of that. We can take these knives down. So while we're waiting on that to start melting, because all we're doing now is just waiting on the cheese to start melting. Okay. And let me just stir a little bit. Thanks, Cousin Hazel. You said I make it look enjoyable. I hope so. I hope so. I enjoy it. I mean, I've been cooking since I was about 5 years old. I think I told y'all that last time. So I've always enjoyed cooking. And I've always wanted a cooking show. I told y'all I'm some kind of weird cooking nerd. Even when I was little and I'd be in the kitchen cooking different stuff, I would pretend I had a show. And I told y'all last time, I'm probably the only kid that was watching, what's my girl name? Oh my God, not Betty Crocker. Julia Childs, only elementary student that got up on Saturday mornings to watch Julia Childs cook because I loved cooking. So I watched a lot of different people on TV cook, a lot of different styles. I learned a lot of the language, different ways to do things, and it just stuck with me. So it's just been something that's been a passion for some years. So while we're waiting on the cheese to melt, we're gonna go ahead and put this very hot pasta. Y'all, this pasta hot, and I just stuck my hand in it. But anyway, we're gonna put some in the pan. Woo. I went to the store earlier and meant to get another bag of shredded cheese and forgot to. So this will be cheesy, but not as cheesy as the ones I'll show you that I made earlier. And Lord, I still got a whole thing of pasta, but you know what? That's fine. It's going in a freezer bag and it's going in the freezer. So next time I get ready for pasta, thaw it out, run it through some hot water, it's ready to go. So we're going to put the pasta in the pan. And let me check the cheese. Because what you don't want to happen is for it to start sticking and burning. So you want to make sure that you're kind of stirring it and giving it a little bit of help in getting melted all in there. And this is going to be, y'all, I'm going to tell you now, it won't be that bright orange restaurant macaroni cheese that you see and you go, why is it so bright orange? But yeah, but you're going to still like it. Let's see. How many minutes? We got about 14 minutes left on the apple crisp. So that's cooking on the way with it. So let's let that cheese, I'm going to turn this up just a little. We're going to be in here all night. And I don't know about y'all. I don't have all night. I still got a little bit of work to do. So that's the I guess the side effect of working from home is that you can have office hours whenever you have office hours. So some days I can work all day long and I'm uninterrupted, and some days I have to stop and take care of some other stuff and then get something done. So today is one of those days where I'm gonna go back and do a little bit of work and do some reading and some research on some things I'm working on. So that is coming right along. The cheese is starting to dissolve. We're starting to melt in there. Now, let's do this while we're waiting on the cheese. We're going to take the other half of stick of butter and put it in the skillet. We want to let it start melting because we want to make a crunchy topping to go on the macaroni and cheese. So while this is still hot, let me show you what it looks like. I just got it in the pan. This is the big pan. So we're going to go ahead and sprinkle a little bit of our shredded cheese directly on the noodles. And this is just because it's what? Mac and cheese. So mac and cheese needs what? Lots of cheese. Cheese. You got to say it just like that too, y'all. Cheese. You say cheese. Okay, so now we just got a little bit of spread on there already. And I told you to get breadcrumbs. Remember that? So we're going to go ahead and get those open and ready. And all we're doing is going to mix a little bit of panko breadcrumbs. Let me grab another bowl. Let's turn it down a little bit. I don't want it to bubble up and burn on us. Grab another bowl. And in this bowl, we're just going to mix a little bit of the panko breadcrumbs. Yes, that'll be enough. Remember I told you I didn't measure, so I'm going to assume that's about a half a cup. And to that, I'm going to add a couple of dashes of just dry parsley. And again, color and for looks, because I like colored looks. So we're going to mix that together. And we're going to toast them a little bit in the butter that we got melting back here. Let's stir our sauce so it doesn't stick. And that cheese is melted and it's so pretty. That is coming right along. And you're still getting that pretty orangey cheese color that you like. And I'm going to tell you something. This works well with queso too. If you want to do it with white cheese, the block cheese, the queso, you can do it with that also. Tastes just as good. And does the same thing. And you make it the exact same way. Let me see, can I show y'all the consistency of this? Where's my spoon? Oh, there it is. Here's where we are right now. I don't know if y'all can see that. Can you see that? Let me hold it a little bit higher. Well, the bottom camera, you won't be able to see it, but I'll come over and just take a look to see. So let's stir that. You can take your spatula and kind of just push down and hit the lumps. The cheese still left, and go ahead and help them get all dissolved in there and melted and all good. And there we go. All right, we're almost there, y'all. Just get these last little hunks of cheese all smoothed in and melted. I'm telling y'all, this is addictive. You had macaroni and cheese before, and I'm gonna tell you something. I don't even think there's a raw macaroni and cheese recipe. I've seen a million of them. Some I've tried I did not like because if macaroni and cheese came out, it basically was in a milk sauce and not necessarily cheese. And I wondered if you eat macaroni and cheese, like where exactly is the cheese? So this one I came up with just it's simple. You've noticed it doesn't have very many ingredients, doesn't take very long to make. Basic cheese sauce. You can make this and pretty much put it on your shoes and it'll taste good. So it can go on more than just macaroni, but same thing. Even if you were doing like a cheese or a rice casserole, you can make the same sauce and use it. And it tastes just as good, like I said. Let's see. What is your sauce looking like? Post a picture and let me see your sauce. That sounds funny to tell somebody, let me see your sauce, doesn't it? Let me make sure y'all post pictures and let me see your food when you finish it. Now we're posting these pictures later on this evening so you can see her. All right. I think we are where we want to be. I'm going to turn the heat off of the butter that's melting in the other skillet. It's ready. And I'm going to bring this over so you can see it. All right. Let's go ahead before I do that. I'm going to go ahead and put these breadcrumbs in that butter. And all we're doing is just going to let them sit there for a little bit and soak up all that butter. And then we'll come back and get them in just a second. Don't let me forget them, y'all, because I'm telling you now. Oh, Mari, you missed the apple crisp prep? I'll tell you about it in just a second. So now, I want y'all to see this cheese sauce. And I'm going to tell you now, don't stick your fingers in it. It's hot. It's atomic hot. But I want you to see what it looks like once it's done. Can you see that? Hold on. That's not. Hold on. Let me try to move everything around so I can get you a good picture of it. Okay. Top camera. Cheese sauce. Look into the cheese sauce. Look into the cheese sauce. Bottom camera, I don't know if y'all can see that, but can you see that? That's cheese sauce. All right, that pan is heavy. Let me put that down. All right, so we got our macaroni and we got our shredded cheese on top of that. Now, I should have told y'all and been real honest with you. It's just not regular macaroni and cheese. Where would the fun be in just making regular macaroni and cheese? Remember I told you you can use some of your leftovers to create something totally different and new? Now let's make this mac and cheese a whole meal. I have a little bit of diced tomatoes and peppers left. I have a little bit of diced chicken I made something earlier with. And I have a little bit of diced ham and onions. Guess what we're going to do? It's going in the macaroni and cheese. Because remember, we're making a whole meal. And we want to make sure that when folks eat, they get full. This is not the spoon I need, y'all. Hold on just a second. Let me find the slider spoon. Well, make the best of it. So here we go. I'm going to take the rest of the diced tomatoes. Don't want all the liquid, so make sure you kind of drain that off. Then we're going to sprinkle that on top. Because remember, we're doing a meal, a whole meal, start to finish. And we want folks to get up from the table and pet their stomachs and be like, hey, that was good. That was good. As my uncle used to say, that was D. Now I used to always laugh. I'm like, what is D? He was like, just D. It was good. Now take the rest of the ham and onions, which I used to make something I was making. I feel I had omelets. And it's like the rest of my omelet filling. So we're just going to put the rest of that in there. And to that, just push that down a little bit in there so it gets down between the noodles. So it tastes more better. More better is a phrase, y'all. Y'all seen More Better Blue, so y'all know more better is more better. All right. And then we're going to put the chicken in. Now this chicken is already seasoned because I was cooking. I made a different casserole with it, and I'll show y'all that one too one day. So the chicken has a little bit of bouillon, garlic powder, lemon pepper seasoning. No, it doesn't have lemon pepper seasoning. I'm sorry. Bouillon and garlic powder. That's what's on it. So we're going to add all that chicken in. And it has a little bit of celery and bell pepper and onion in it also. So we're going to add all of that. Because remember, yep, it's mac and cheese, but this mac and cheese made to please. This is a meal mac and cheese. This is how you make it when you got to feed a bunch of folks and you got a few little items and you got those weird little pieces of leftover things in the refrigerator. Now, if you wanted to, you could do this with vegetables. Any kind you like. Broccoli would be wonderful in this. Carrots, zucchini, not zucchini. Well, zucchini will work too. Broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, corn, any vegetables that you wanted to add into it would be wonderful in that. So now, here's what it looks like with all of the meats in there. So technically, y'all going, that ain't macaroni and cheese. Yes, it is. It's just macaroni and cheese with a surprise in the middle. Now we're just going to take this cheese sauce and cover it with that. See? Mac and cheese. Mac and cheese, please. With an extra kick to it. With a bonus. So this way, now you know what to do with your odds and ends in the refrigerator. A little casserole, pretty much, that's all. And I'm probably putting about, y'all, I'm not going to tell you how much cheese I'm putting on there. Just know it's an obscene amount of cheese on this mac and cheese. Remember we put the shredded cheese in there first, and now we're going to add the liquid cheese. The liquid cheese, please. Okay, I'm just shaking the pan to kind of settle it so the cheese gets down in all of the crevices and covers everything really well. And we're going to top that with what? Macaroni and cheese. So we're going to top it with what? Y'all tell me. More cheese. It's macaroni and cheese, right? So you got to put cheese on it, don't you? All right. So now we're going to take our shredded cheese, which I think this brand that I'm using, or the kind I'm using, is like a Fiesta cheese. It's like 4 different cheeses all mixed together. And we're going to put that on top of this. Because it's macaroni and cheese. And we want enough cheese on here, so you cannot say I had macaroni and it didn't have cheese. Yes, it did. So we're going to cover that and make sure that we get cheese on every little piece of this. Now, don't overfill your container, and know that you don't have to cook this very long, because remember, all our ingredients everything that went in this pan is already done. So basically, all you're going to do is put it in the oven for it to brown and get a little crust on top for the cheese. So now, to that, Hold on, let me let y'all see that. Here's what it looks like. Top camera, bottom camera, not so good. You can probably see it on that one very well. The lighting is kind of horrible. So anyway, I'll take pictures and y'all see it. To the top. Oh, y'all, if you can smell this apple crisp. Oh my goodness. Now that is smelling good. So we can get ready. Let's check it before we put the macaroni and cheese in and see what's going on with it. Take a little pan off. So I can catch it. I can catch the pan. Okay. We're going to let that cook a little bit without the pan on to kind of do a little bit of browning on top. And to that, we're going to go ahead. Oh, we didn't add the breadcrumbs. See, I told y'all not to let me forget. We're going to take our breadcrumbs. We just browned them. You can probably see that on the top camera. We just brown them in the pan or mix them in the pan with a little bit of butter. Just toss them around. Oh, it smells good. It smells so good. Y'all know I can sing too, huh? We're going to take those breadcrumbs, put them over the top. Just sprinkle them on lightly. Heavy, however you like it. If you like more crunch, use more breadcrumbs. If you don't like a lot of crunch, use less breadcrumbs. See how easy it is? I keep telling y'all, none of this stuff is hard. This is easy stuff. So now, let me clean my hands off. Okay, our timer is going off on our apple crisp. So we're going to turn that off. All right. Now let me clean a little bit of this stuff off of this pan because I hate the smell of anything burning. And that cheese will burn on my other pan and smell terrible. So let me clean a little bit of that off of there. Get that out of the way. When y'all see me ducking over to the side over here when I cook, I always keep me either a bag or a tray just to put all the extra stuff on because I hate clutter. And I like to keep my cooking area clean. So this is what it looks like once you put the breadcrumbs on top. Can you see that? I wish this bottom camera was better. Wait a minute. If I move back, maybe you can. There you go. That's about the best I can do. Okay. Now, because this is heavy and those pans are kind of thin, put it on another pan. I'm going to go ahead and stick this in the oven. All right. Y'all, that's grand. That apple crisp that you're doing, it's dying. So now stick that in the oven for a second. And I don't remember turning it down, but I guess I did. We can go ahead, put the oven on broil. All we're doing is just browning the cheese and getting it all bubbly and loose and goosey and all that good stuff so it can run all over the macaroni. I'll put that back there. And clean off our space because I want to make sure y'all can see when this comes out. I'm going to put this here. I wish you could see on this bottom camera. Oh, man, you better see everything. Oh, I forgot your salad, didn't I? Easiest thing you're going to make all day. Now, notice that in everything else, we're using these little pans. So guess what we're going to put this salad in? Because we don't want to have to wash dishes. Why wash dishes if you don't have to? Wedge salad is probably the easiest salad you would ever make in your entire life. Because all it is a wedge of lettuce. And you put that in your little pan. And you know me, I got to decorate it because I'm just not going to eat it plain. This is my little garnish bowl. And this is just red, orange, and green pepper, bell pepper, with a little bit of green onion mixed in. Oh, now see, you can see this real well down here on the camera. Okay. And we're just going to sprinkle that. No, hold on. Let's put the dressing on first. Make sure we're not burning up on macaroni. Oh, y'all. I hear the sizzle. I hear the sizzle. I hear the sizzle. I hear the sizzle of the cheese. Now, whatever your favorite dressing is, this is just Thousand Island. I'm just going to drip it across. And again, y'all know I like pretty food, so okay. Don't judge me, y'all. Don't judge me. Just kind of drizzle that across your salad. Okay. And we're just going to do a sprinkle of our garnish. Bam. There's, oh, it's these pans. That's why y'all can't see on the bottom camera. The one is the pan. Now, see on the top, that's it. Salad made, salad ready. Look how easy that was. Oh, let's take the macaroni. I smell it. Oh, shoot. I think I might have caught my breadcrumb on fire in there. Oh, I did a little bit. So now y'all get to learn how to hide the mistake. I'm going to show you how to hide the mistake. Hold on. I had something to hide it with. Oh, hold on. Left that just a second too long. And that's a little more brown than what I like. So here's how you hide the mistake. You just take the little parts off you don't like. Then nobody else can see. So then nobody else see this but me and y'all. So don't tell nobody, okay? Don't tell nobody. Talking to y'all and burnt my breadcrumbs. But again, I told you it's a way to fix everything. Now just take a few of them off. Now watch this. Take a few fresh ones. Put it on top there. Bam. Guess what just happened? Let me see if I can show it to y'all. Hold on just a second. Move this out of the way. And remember, we still got the apple crisp in there. Oh my God, we can take that out too. Let's see. So go ahead and get that out. Ooh, all right. I wish I could hear that sizzle. Can you hear the sizzle? Hear the sizzle? Wish you could smell it. Oh my God, it smells so good. Here, let's set that on top of the bowl. It's a little bit hot to go on the counter. Set that there. And let me see if I can show you the mac and cheese. I'm trying to find something because the pan is still hot. Can you see that? Okay, bottom camera, I'm sorry. If I put it over any further, I'm going to dump it on you. So let me just hold it that way. So let me show y'all something I did earlier. Remember I said you can take your leftovers and create these little personal ones? That one is taco. For the veggie people. For the ham and onion folks. So you got 4 different ones. This one is a combination in the middle. But then look how cute those are, these little pans. And guess what? Here's the trick. If you wanted to make these ahead of time, y'all, I moved my lids. Oh, here they are back here. If you wanted to make these ahead of time to keep you from having to cook, guess what? This has already got a little spray on it. These come with little lids that you can put on there. Only thing I would tell you to do is spray a little bit of cooking spray on there. Can you see me do that? Spray a little bit of cooking spray on there so that the cheese doesn't stick to it. And guess what? Look at this. It's a little greasy. Put that on there. Fold these little edges down. You have your own TV dinner. Eat it now, eat it later. Excuse me, these can't go in the freezer if you want to freeze them. Now, what I would do if I wanted to if I wanted to freeze this is I wouldn't go ahead and cook it. I would just put the cheese on there without melting it and then put the lid on it. Make sure you cook spray it so it doesn't stick. Put the lid on it and put it in the freezer. When you get ready to eat it, take it out, let it thaw out, and then stick it in the oven and let it cook through that way and heat all the way through. So look at that. So you got one. Now, picky eaters, remember, ham and cheese, vegetable. This has broccoli, cauliflower, corn, and carrots in it. This one has your leftover taco meat. So now, tell me again that you cannot cook a whole meal, dessert to finish, and put it on the table. I just showed you how. Now, let's get back to this apple crisp over here. There's your apple crisp, all done and gooey and ooey. And we're going to finish that off with a little bit of, y'all, if I can catch up with, well, shoot, I lost the lid. Going to finish that off. Oh, I lost my caramel sauce, y'all. I actually made some earlier and took some to my coworkers, and they loved it. Can y'all see me? I forgot I scooted over too far from the camera, didn't I? And yes, I'm using a fork to get some ice cream with. I don't feel like digging for the spoon, y'all. And the funny thing is, I bet I got 3 ice cream scoops. Ask me where they are. Cannot find one. And this ice cream part is a rock. I should let it sit out a little bit. But I bet you what, we're going to get out this container. I guess we're going to look, I say that now. I don't know. It might come out, it might not. Hold on. Y'all, I can't get it out. Hold on. Hold on. It's coming. It wasn't bit my fork, y'all. That's okay. We're going to use the key. Now, hold on. Let me bend my fork back. Oh. It smells like cheese in here, y'all. Cheese and more cheese. Now, I'm going to duck off for just a second. I put my caramel sauce in my carry-out bag. So hold on. I'll be right back. Stay there. I'm coming back. I promise. I got to find my caramel sauce. Okay. Say I was going to find it. Put it in the bag. Oh, my God. Oh, there it is. All right. Ooh. I think I wasted ice cream on it. Let me rinse the jar. I wasted a little bit of ice cream on it. So now, y'all, when my son's is on, I don't know if y'all can hear that, but I am a serious Jodeci fan. So much so that one of my Pandora stations is all Jodeci. Casey and JoJo and all the Jodeci. So let's do a little drizzle. Here, let me show you this because you don't want to see this. Ow, it's hot. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot. Hold on. Let me readjust. We're just going to take a little bit of caramel sauce. Caramel sauce. Okay. Apple crisp, ice cream, caramel sauce. You cannot go wrong with this. All right, y'all. I think we got a whole meal on the table, plus some. And we did it in 52 minutes. So I did it faster than an hour. So now, tell me again, you can't do this. Make sure that you go back and watch the video. You know, I was talking a little bit fast. If it's something I missed, I'll run back to the ingredients for you. On the apple crisp, for this size, 1 Granny Smith apple, cored and sliced, half a cup of oats, whole oats, old-fashioned, 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of white sugar, and about 3 tablespoons of flour, a half a stick of butter, and mash that all together in the bowl. Make a crumble. Put that over your apples. Put that in the oven, 375, 400 for about 30 minutes until you see it bubbling and you hear it sizzling. That's when it's done. Top it with your ice cream and your caramel. It's ready to eat. Your macaroni and cheese. Ooh. Ooh. I like this. This means I got choices on what I want to eat because half of this is going to be dinner and some of it's going to be lunch tomorrow, probably the next couple of days. So, macaroni and cheese. Let's see. Make sure I get everything. I did 2 pounds of cheese, 2 cups of milk, 6 ounces of condensed milk. Now, if you're making it, you can use a whole can of condensed milk. It just depends on what consistency you want your cheese sauce to be. You're going to dice your cheese into big blocks. You're going to start your sauce with butter in your skillet first. Do about 4 tablespoons of flour. Dissolve the flour in the butter. Add your 2 cups of milk. Add your condensed milk. Your seasonings. Now, you can change the seasonings and add whatever you want. But I like garlic powder, Cajun seasoning, paprika, black pepper, and a little pinch of salt. Not too much salt, though. Mix all that together, and then add your cheese into it and just let it melt down, and you get your sauce. Cook your pasta according to the directions on the box. Make sure you salt that water so you do not have to add a lot of salt in the finished product. And take whatever leftover meats. If you want to just plain macaroni and cheese, just make regular macaroni and cheese. If you want to kick it up just a little bit, add your favorite vegetables. Add a little bit of ham and onions. Add a little bit of taco seasoning, a little bit of taco salad meat, or Do a combination of everything. Wedge salad, hey y'all, anybody can do this one. Iceberg lettuce, cut into wedges. Whatever your favorite dressing is, sprinkle whatever garnish you want. You can do boiled eggs on this. You can do bacon bits. You can do it any kind of way. I just wanted it real simple and real quick. And there you go. You have an entire meal, entree to dessert, in less than an hour. So I am so glad. Ooh, my hands are sticking out caramel everywhere. I'm so glad that you all were able to tune in tonight, and I was able to get on tonight because it was bothering me, and be able to cook a little bit for you. So I hope that you've enjoyed this special edition of the Lady Sounds from Wonderlow in May Rose Cafe Live. I'll be back next week, probably on another Thursday. I'm trying to get my schedule worked out to where I can do these every Thursday at 7. So next week, but what I'll do ahead of time when I figure out what I want to cook, I'll go ahead and post the recipe, go ahead and post the ingredients. So that way, if you want to cook along with me, you can go ahead and buy all your ingredients and be ready. So thanks again for you all tuning in. Make sure you tune into the Lady Lounge on Tuesday nights at 7. If you haven't done so, go ahead and like, share, subscribe, hit that bell on YouTube so you can get the new videos as they come out. Make sure you like our Facebook page. We have an Instagram page too. Everything's easy to find. All of it is the Lady Sounds Wonderlow. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, cousins. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. It's always good to have some family support. And man, I got it. I have wonderful cousins and family members. So friends also. I won't leave y'all out. So thank you all for tuning in tonight. I hope that you enjoy your meal. I'm getting ready to enjoy mine. Y'all know I'm going to skip dessert because I'm trying to watch the sugar. But anyway, I'm going to have a little bit of pasta and a lot of salad. How about that? Y'all go ahead and enjoy your food tonight. Thank you so much again for tuning in. I've enjoyed my time with you. And I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.